Welcome back to Hi Guys, it's your boy BDR, and I'm back with another AQW video. Now in today's video we're going to be going over the top soloing classes. Just like before with the top farming classes, we're also going to do one for support and solo. This time we're going to be doing the soloing portion. Now before we start, I want to go over like a few disclaimers. First off, this is just solely my opinion. Whatnot. The list I'm about to show here, plus the honorable mentions, is what I believe are kind of like the top or the best, soloers in the game. So yeah, that's kind of it for the first one. Second one, if you believe that there's like a soloing class that I missed, drop it down in the comments below. I do interact with comments. Yeah, let's get started with the honorable mentions. Now, for the honorable mentions, I have Chrono Data Knight, Legion Doom Knight, Chronomancer Prime, Chrono Commandant, and Infinity Knight. The reason why I have these is kind of like these aren't, at least in terms of soloing, these aren't your first options. The Chronos. These aren't like your first options for like your first soloing chrono compared to the other soloing classes, which I'll show later on in the video. Legion Doom Knight, it is a good soloer. It is you before Vera's Doom Knight, it was used in the Ultra Dage fight. If it's decay, and whatnot, it's siphoning, it makes like a very good soloer. Late game, which you could take all the way to end game. So yeah, guys. Now, let's get started with our first soloing class of the video. And we're back. Now for our first soloing class, we have Chaos Avenger. Now, Chaos Avenger is one of the best soloing classes in the game due to, it racking up damage, shredding the boss with its debuffs. And also, as of recording of this video, Chaos Avenger got buffed a little bit due to its Fury Unleash being able to increase. The second amount got increased from 25 to 35 seconds. So yeah, here's the build I'm using. If you have Ravenous, use Ravenous instead. But if you don't, you can always use Valiant, which is like the second best option. Luck class, Vainglory for damage, and Anima for that +10 hit chance. You can use Vim if you want more consistency with your mana. But I just like this more because, damage. Here's the server that I'm on. And I will be fighting undead monsters, so I am going to be using a 75% boost to undead. Now we got that out of the way. Analyzer, and let's go. So yeah, look at that damage we're already doing. We're already at 100k damage done. So you see the way that it's just shredding the Doom Overlord, just like survivability. Even with Vainglory, reducing the heal intake. We have Valiance to like boost up the core stats. And it's just going off. All the debuffs it's applying, you kind of see why it's like mainly the main DPS class for ultras. As you can see right here, it cleared it out in 51 seconds. It dealt 690,000 damage. You see damage taken. Now let's try it out with the Vim. To show you guys what I mean, because Vim does do -33 to mana consumption. Let's wait for that. Yep, wait for it. Alright then. Let's try it out. As you can see with Vim, I'm losing less mana. see if the damage is actually good. See how it's just like destroying, racking up damage. 35 seconds and for that unstoppable force. Oh wow. Vim is actually better. That's, Vim if you want more, if you want less mana consumption, and Anima if you want more hit chance. But yeah, that's basically Chaos Avenger, and now let's move on to our next soloing class. Alright, our next top soloer is Chrono ShadowSlayer / Shadow Hunter. This class came out like, I would say, almost like a month ago. It's like a little over a month since it got added to the Hero Mart shop. Here's the build I'm using. If you have like Lamin and whatnot, you can. Vim for mana consumption. Arcanus Concerto is a nice substitute for Ravenous. As you can see at the beginning of the video or the intro, like I'm working on Ravenous. So yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, the rep boost, yep. And let's get started. It's just, now for Chrono ShadowSlayer, there is like two builds, just like if you want easy nukes. This class has like a lot of combos, but it's like one of the easier ones if you just want nukes. There, very easy DPS. Right here, very easy nukes. This is like one of the main examples of why like the Chrono classes are usually the best soloers in the game, because their DPS usually outmatches all others except themselves. But there are a few soloing classes that, that can kind of match up with it, as you can see right here. 690. Chaos Avenger with the Vim kind of did like 700k and whatnot. So yeah, Chrono ShadowSlayer, one of the best. So as some people will actually make an argument that Chrono ShadowSlayer is the best soloing class in the game. Okay, I feel like, after a month of having it, it is easy to use, whatnot. You can get easy nukes off. And there is the dodge combo, which, you know what, I'll show the dodge combo. Here, oh shit, dude. Right here, if you just want, if you don't want to take any hits as well. If we had Ravenous, it would be doing a lot more damage. I might make a video on Ravenous once I get it. As you can see right here, we're not really taking that much damage. There you go. That's kind of it with the dodge build. And yeah, that's been Chrono ShadowSlayer. Now let's move on to our next soloing class. Now for our next soloing class, we have Immortal Chronomancer. Now this class is just the example of, do you want to just do big orange numbers? That's what this class is. Alright, here's the build. If you want to go base forge, you can. It's like Anima because it had 10% hit chance. So yeah, we're keeping it 75% undead as always. And let's go. Just right there, just the example of just like big orange numbers. Right there. Big orange numbers. In 35 seconds, it was able to do all that. See if you have Dauntless, use Dauntless. But, Valiance works well too, boosting up its core stats and whatnot. Plus Anima's 10% hitch. And plus with healing, I think you don't have to worry that much about healing if you're just going to be nuking people left and right. This paired up with support classes can easily make up for easy nuking damage against bosses, as long as they don't have like a boss shield. See, even the Doom Overlord agrees. So yeah, that's been Immortal Chronomancer. Now this class may be hard on the fingers and the hands, but I could just show it. I just did like a an easy combo. You could use just 3 rotations of the 2 and 3, and there you go. Let's just do it again. Oh, yeah. Big orange numbers, that's what this class is. Alright, so our next class is Lightcaster. Now I understand this may be like a huge eyebrow raise. And some might, automatically gonna go to the comments and be like, I don't know what I'm talking about. What? Now I understand. This may be like an eyebrow raise to some, but hear me out. Now I understand that now compared to like the other honorable mentions on my list, it's like those chrono classes, those are not your first compared to Shadow Hunter, Timekeeper, ShadowStalker of Time. Those are not going to be your first choice. Like the Chronomancer, now the Chronomancer Prime, the Data Knight, the Infinity, those are not going to be your first choices for a soloing class. The Shadow Hunter, Timekeeper, those are going to be your first choices. Now with Lightcaster, it may not be as good as it once was before, but it could still pretty much hold up. Yeah, it's a bit glass cannon, but like yeah, let's check it out. Here, Aster also good support as well in its illumination. Okay, Nuke. Yes, I understand that we're under 75% to undead, but still a pretty sight to see. Doot, doot, doot. 40, wow, 43k. And yeah, that's like, yeah, it did take a lot more time than the others on this, but Lightcaster is still a pretty nice soloing class to have with its good support. For a good nuke right then and there. It is used in it's mainly used in the Ultra Darkon fight as the main DPS class. So yeah, excuse me. That's been Lightcaster. Now on to the next one. Alright, next up we have ShadowStalker or Shadowwalker of Time. Hey, very DLT heavy class. You know, Smite because of the 5th skill. Lucky because this class is based off of crits. Vanglory because this class doesn't really heal like that, plus more damage. And Vim for less mana consumption. If you want to go with for Anima, then go ahead. If you have Dauntless, then use Dauntless. Alright. So here it's just the DLTs go crazy on this class. $90k damage over time is crazy. Just the it's just the burn damage. It's crazy. 100 and like what 50k burn damage over time, like you guys saw that, right? Being able to just easily burn away your opponents and whatnot. Vim for less mana consumption. Easily makes it. Now this class is a bit complicated to use. You know, at one point, I don't know if it still holds the name of like the hardest class to learn in the game. I'm not sure if it still holds up the name. I'm pretty sure it holds up as at least one of the hardest classes to learn. But once you master it, it becomes like the best damage over time class you'll ever have. As you can see right here, the damage in the time speaks for itself. Overall, like ShadowStalker of Time, one of the best overall soloing classes in the game. Helps out with stuff like Azalith and whatnot for that burn damage. It's just the burn damage is just whew. Alright. On to the next soloing class. Now on to the next soloing class, Timekeeper. Here's the setup. And let's go. As you can see with Timekeeper, it's usually like the best class if you're fighting bosses that have like over 300k HP, as you can see right here. Here, that paired up with Lacerate. If you have Dauntless, then obviously use it. It's just, you know, quick and easy nukes. And arguably the best soloing class currently in the game. Oh, yeah, 800k, 838k damage. Yep, this is like the best soloing class to have if you're fighting bosses over 300k HP. It's a good dodge class. Whatnot. Vim is giving less mana consumption, easy nukes, easy class to learn. Overall, like Timekeeper is like in like top 2 or top 3 Chronos must-have Chronos in your inventory. So yeah, so you have the 6k season looking for a soloing class. You know, everyone's first look is either gonna be between like Shadow Hunter, Timekeeper, or going to ShadowStalker. But yeah, on to the next one. Alright, for the next soloing class, we have Overworld / Timeless Chronomancer. Now I understand some people will be like, oh, why didn't you just put Timeless? Also, I mean, they're basically the same class. It's just that one is harder than the other. By hard, I mean timeless. Overall kind of works about the same, just like they're basically similar. Even back in 2021, they were still pretty similar when they both got buffed. So yeah, here's the build. And if you want to say that, you know, timeless is better or Overworld is better, prerogative. I just bought Overworld instead of timeless. All right, here's the build. Now with this, you know, they do have the consumables. You know, we do have to, you know, get the consumables as well. Oops, damn, I'm doing a lot in this video. So yeah, let's get get started. It's gonna take a lot. Here, about to just oop. Here, damage is going quite well. I should keep it up to 4. Yep, good damage right there. So yeah, Chrono classes. You know what I mean? You know what? I felt like that one was pretty bad. Let's do another take. As you see right here, man, 4K burn with the snap. I feel like that was better. But yeah, Overworld / Timeless Chronomancer. Pretty good class. If you want easy nukes. And I understand there's like a whole shit ton full of consumables, but I just usually use the timepiece and the power one. I didn't feel like using all of them, otherwise this would kind of be a pretty stretched out video. So yeah, let's move on to the next soloing class. Now for our second to last soloing class, we have Yami no Ronin. Now Yami no Ronin is another good dodge soloing class. Not as good as Timekeeper, but still a pretty nice, you know, dodge soloing class. Here's the setup that I'm using. You know, Vanguard because this class is a dodge class, not a healing class, and Anima for more hit chance. Now you can also use Vim if you prefer mana over damage. Alright, and let's get started. Alright, here, as you can see, we're barely taking any damage. Good nukes as well. Now it does have a dodge combo, which I will show. Almost missed nuke, 80k nuke. Okay, nuke right here. It's just barely any damage taken. A little bit of lag there. Yeah, it did take a minute four compared to Chronos, but you can see the damage right there. Now for the dodge build. I'll show you guys one more time. This is the dodge build. Dodge build may not be as much as like the pure offensive build, but it could still hold its own. I mean, even in both cases, I kind of low-key prefer the offensive build over the defensive build. But you know, this is one of the many classes that have both an offensive build and a defensive build as well. So yeah, that's been Yami no Ronin. Now let's go on to the last soloing class, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what that is. Now for our last soloing class, we have Void Highlord. Yeah, everyone was expecting this one. It's like one of the few soloing classes that could compete with the Chronos in terms of DPS and soloing capabilities. Now, even though Void Highlord did get nerfed a bunch of times before, it's still one of the best soloers in the game, being able to shred through bosses like crazy. If you have Dauntless, I'm just using Smite for that extra nuke. Vanglory, because this class is really it can heal just fine even with Vanglory and Anima for hit chance. And let's go. It's just the overall shredding of the boss is going crazy. There, his damage. Not now. It may not. Now it isn't the best soloing class as it was before, but it could still. You could make an argument it's still like a top 5 soloer. Probably like top 4 would. If I would have said top 5 soloing, I would kind of say like Timekeeper, Shadow Hunter, ShadowStalker. Like I would kind of put like Chaos Avenger and Void Highlord. Like Chaos Avenger and Void Highlord are kind of like interchangeable depending on how you feel. Because I like Void Highlord more due to the damage, but Chaos Avenger does have more survivability. And yeah, that's basically been the end of the top soloing classes. Now next AQ video, I will be showcasing the top support classes and what and this in this whole entire video is to show what these soloing classes can do. It's about DPS, about survivability, you know, and solo play. Even a Doom Overlord agrees. So yeah, if there's like a soloing class that I missed in the video, you know, that you believe that I missed, you know, drop it down in the comments. And yeah, hi guys, out.